type of effect does your diet have upon cholesterol and lipids?
Well, if you're overweight and you go in to get one of these lipid tests and all that kind of stuff, wherever they are, okay, then the doctor's going to say, well, we better put you on a statin drug and get this cholesterol down, or the LDLs and all that kind of stuff. When you start losing weight, those will just come right down. Just come right down. Now, remember, a lot of this cholesterol and the LDL and HDL levels, they are genetically programmed. Okay. We basically have three groups of people: low, medium, and high levels. Okay. And even if you're at a high level or a medium level, even with a lot of drugs, statin drugs, and high diet, it's hard to move somebody from one group to another. This is pretty much genetically controlled. But it will. You know, as you start losing weight and getting in better shape, those things will come down. And they'll plateau out where it is genetically good for you. There are a lot of studies on this cholesterol. It's a whole other story. There's a town in Italy where they've measured the Italians in this town, and they have like the highest cholesterol levels ever measured. Okay, and they have 0 heart attacks and like 0 atherosclerosis. Right. So it'll come down, but now it'll come down for where you're supposed to be genetically.
Specific to your book, where do you find isopure protein?
GNC. GNC right in town here at the Colonial Mall or the Greenville Mall.
I bought it also out there at the one that's on Fire Tower, near Daily Grind.
Yeah.
I bought it out there.
Yeah, there was another one. Yeah, that one too. And it's pretty expensive at GNC. I think regular is like $60 on sale or something. At the beginning of the month you can get it for $40. But I've gotten some emails from some of people who have been on my diet, and they've just Googled Isopure, and they buy it online. It's like $30, $25. So you can buy it online much cheaper. So you can just buy a couple of.
I noticed it had a lot of other things in it. And are those all? There's no problem with. I mean, it's kind of a bodybuilding kind of.
Yeah,
drink.
no, there's no problem.
Creatine and all our stuff. I didn't really read that carefully, but L-carnitine or whatever.
The big thing, the reason I chose that one was it's 0 carbs. It's the only protein powder I found that was 0 carbs.
I've only been able to find one with 1 carb even, so
it's really mainly just a protein powder. Some of those other ones like the Muscle Max and all that, I mean, they're kind of goosed up with some other stuff, but
so that's fine.
You won't have a problem at all. I care. You have a question for me? This is my next door neighbor.
Yeah. Am I a lost cause by doing
No.
I need to lose weight.
In fact, you're going to buy my book, and I'm going to come over to your house every day and watch you. Okay? And we're going to take a picture of you today, and then we're going to have a before and after. I'm going to put it on my website.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'll be my before and after.
Speaking of that, have you considered having a support group? I mean, like a Weight Watchers, but not weight,
I've dreamed of a lot of things.
I feel kind of lonely out there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this thing off the ground a little bit. And, I have a MySpace thing where I'm blogging. So the best thing is, what I'll do is I'll give you my card after this, and I'll give you my MySpace website, and I'm blogging there. So then the process there is you just sign up as my friend, and I say yes, and then you can get all my blogs there and ask me questions. So people, and I'll give you my personal website too. And mainly what I've been doing now is just giving people my personal website, and then they contact me and I answer their questions. So, but yeah, I think we'll see how the promotion goes in the book and see how far I can take it.
I've done a lot of low carb, and it seems like I stay on 5 or 6 months and lose 6 or 8 pounds, and that's not very encouraging. And even though I like doing it, I feel good on it.
Yeah.
But after a while, and then at some point, usually in September, October, I eat a potato or something, and I just fall totally off the wagon like an alcoholic. I mean, really, I've done it over and over and over again.
Week 2, you can have potato.
Well, I'm afraid to eat potato. Now, that's the other problem. I have trouble adding carbs back in because I feel pretty good not eating them, and then I don't want to add them back in.
Yeah, well, don't do that. I mean,
I realize
I'm not trying, and again, I'm not trying to make this point now, and that's a good question. Don't think that I'm trying to make carbs the villain, all right? You need carbs, you need fats, and you need proteins, okay? It's what has happened in the American diet is the carbs have gotten out of control. All I'm saying is we have to rein it back to where it's supposed to be. If you take out carbs of your diet, you're going to fail, and that's in my book. I warn you real early in chapter 2, don't try to be a hero here and say, well, if 20 is good, 10 is better. No, your body will not like to stay at 20 grams of carbs. It doesn't like it there. Now, at the first week, you want to kind of jumpstart yourself. But then after that, I put you on 30, and then you fluctuate between 20, 40, and 60. And what your body likes, and the reason most diets fail, even these meal plans that you buy, all right, people lose weight on those, but they're recidivist. In other words, they fail eventually. Those meals, even the pre-planned ones, what they are, they're basically flatlining with a certain number of carbs, proteins, and fats, and that's sort of like where you're eating all the time. Your body does not like to stay flatlined. What your body likes is this, the fluctuations. And that's one of the keys and the big differences between my book and Atkins. Atkins' diet worked, but it failed. The studies for Atkins people, if you did a study, and these are published, and you wanted to do a study of control group and an Atkins group, and you wanted to put them on it for 10 weeks, you'd have to take 50 men. You would have to start with 50 men in order to get 20 to finish to the end, okay? And the reason was, after a while, and I've had a couple of men tell me this already. I was on the Henry Hinton Talk of the Town show, and Henry Hinton mentioned this in his interview. He says, I was on the Atkins diet. After a while, I couldn't even look at a steak, And what he did is he flatlined himself. Your body does not like that. It likes fluctuations, and that's some of the latest research. All right? Your body says, well, I can handle a 20 carb day, which is low, but if you get it into the flow that it knows it's getting 60 tomorrow, it's fine. It'll burn all the fat you want for those 24 hours. And then you get up to 60, and then you come down to 40 again, and it's burning fat all the time. The other thing about this diet is,
Dave,
if you look at the statistics of diets and how much pounds people lose, it's a little bit of a misconception if you're just looking at pounds. Because if you take a diet where you reduce calories, and let's say you take a group and you reduce their calories and they say, oh, I lost 30 pounds. And then you take the Dudek diet plan and they say, oh, I lost 30 pounds too. Well, what's so good about your book? It's not the pounds. On the Dudek diet plan, the 30 pounds you lost will be fat, not muscle. In a low-calorie diet, your body goes after muscle tissue, and you will lose 30 pounds. But 20 pounds will be fat, 10 will be muscle. You lost 10 pounds of muscle. Now, if you go on a yo-yo kind of thing, where now you're off, you gain your weight back, and you start yo-yo dieting, you lose 10 pounds here. When you gain your weight back, you think you gain 10 pounds of muscle back? No, you gain 10 pounds of fat back. So when you're back over here, your original weight, you're 30, but 10 of those are fat. You lost 10 pounds of muscle. Now you come down again, and every time you yo-yo like that, you're losing muscle mass. And you don't want to do that because muscle mass is what's burning, is the metabolic engine of your body. So this diet plan, the Dudek diet plan, your weight loss comes from fat tissue.